Hi Virgo, this is Tisch Aitken, and this is your monthly report for the month of May 2022. It's a very busy month ahead with a lot going on. So at the very end of April, Pluto, which is the planet of power, death, and rebirth, station retrograde on April 29th at 28 degrees and 36 minutes of the cardinal earth sign of Capricorn. We feel that build up 5 days before and 5 days after. That can bring major endings and major change, major beginnings as well. For you, it occurred in your house of romance, creativity, and love affairs. It brought major beginnings, but also major change. Add to that there was a partial solar eclipse that occurred on April 30th at 10 degrees and 28 minutes of the fixed earth sign of Taurus. And for you, this occurred in your house of hope and teaching and manifesting and opportunity, as well as higher learning and publishing and promotion. And eclipses are like wild cards. They bring in opportunities out of the blue. And they, whatever you think it is, just like Uranus cycles. And this eclipse is actually conjunct Uranus. You know a lot's happening, and if you know what area of the chart it's happening in, you know that's where it's occurring. But it's just so much going on, and it's just, they can make us see things in a way we never have before. They can bring things to light that up until now have been hidden, and they can bring life change, that changes our lives forever. And but it can be very exciting. And in your house of promotion and teaching and learning and optimism, I think it's tapping into hope in a very challenging time, tapping into the very innovative energy of this, because Uranus is conjunct this new moon eclipse. And it was a partial solar eclipse, so the sun, moon, and the earth are not perfectly aligned, but the moon does partially cover the sun's disk, and it definitely is like a new moon on steroids. It's definitely more powerful than a monthly new moon. It's definitely a time of setting intentions and planting new seeds, and it's in your house of hope. As we begin May, that energy is still resonating very powerfully, and so this could really help you to manifest new hope and manifest new beginnings, whatever you're trying to magnetize. There are also 5 points transiting in your opposite sign of Pisces, and that's the sign of dreams and creativity and selfless love, as well as the imagination. Juno, which is an asteroid of partnering, Mars, the planet of action and passion, Jupiter, the planet of expansion and abundance, Neptune, the planet of dreams and spirituality, and Venus, the planet of love and money, are all transiting in your house of relationships. Jupiter has been in this sector of your chart since December 28th of last year. It's going to leave for a while on May 10th and enter the sign of Aries, and then it will re-enter on October 28th until December 20th. So a lot of focus on your social life, your love life, on building clientele, on partnering with others in many different ways. And Jupiter is opening up many doors for you. So we begin the month on May 2nd. Venus, the planet of love and money, changes signs and leaves the sign of Pisces and enters the Cardinal Fire sign of Aries, where it will be until May 28th in your house of healing and transformation, as well as debt and taxes. So this could hopefully bring in new financial opportunities to, if you're dealing with debt or trying to fix up your finances. It also could be good for dealing with intimacy and for healing, because we've all experienced so much loss in the last couple of years. On May 3rd, Jupiter, which is the Grand Benefic, the planet of expansion and opportunity, forms a helpful aspect to Pluto, the planet of transformation. And that could be good for you for healing in a very creative way, and also just feeling more empowered in facing the wounds and facing the pain. And it's just also a very empowering combination of the planets. On May 3rd, on May 4th, Mars, the planet of action, forms a helpful aspect to Uranus, the planet of innovation and brilliance. And that occurs at 11:47 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time. And that's good for partnering with others, maybe brainstorming on projects, and it could be very romantic and passionate, but also very innovative and good for brilliance in what you're trying to achieve as well. On May 5th, the Sun meets up with Uranus at 3:22 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time. That is likely to be a very unpredictable day. You could get some news unexpectedly, maybe some plans change. It could be excellent for coming up with very inventive ideas on the spot. If you're trying to promote yourself, this could be very innovative in doing that, but some plans could definitely get changed around, so kind of going with the flow on that. On May 7th, Mercury, the planet of communication, forms a very good aspect of Venus, the planet of love and partnerships, at I can't remember now, at 2:01 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time. And that's a very romantic and creative energy, and good for partnering with others, good for feeling creative. On May 8th, the Sun forms a helpful aspect to Mars at 5:49 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time. Very passionate energy, good for feeling invigorated, good for feeling energized, so that's a nice energy. On May 10th, Mercury, which is the ruler of your chart, stations retrograde at 7:47 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time at 4 degrees and 50 minutes of the mutable air sign of Gemini. And this occurs in your house of career and life direction. Mercury, well, again, it rules your sign, so you're familiar with it. When it retrogrades, it's always an excellent time to reassess, reevaluate, redo, reconsider. And in this case, it's retrograding initially in Gemini, in your house of career at the top of your chart. But it will re-enter Taurus on May 22nd. It stations direct on June 4th, or June 3rd rather, at 25 degrees of Taurus in your house of promotion, teaching, and travel. So reassessing if you want to take some classes. Maybe you're trying to fine-tune certain things that you're trying to learn for your business. Maybe you're trying to teach a course. Maybe you're getting published. Maybe you're promoting your business and reconsidering a marketing plan. All of these things would be useful with that retrograde, and with Mercury retrograding in your house of career. On May 10th, there's another big story. Jupiter, which is the planet of vision and expansion, changes signs and enters the Cardinal Fire sign of Aries at 7:22 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, and it will transit in Aries until October 28th, and then it will re-enter Pisces until December 20th, and then return to the sign of Aries. For you, it's transiting in your house of money and debt, in your house of loss and pain and healing and transformation. It brings expansion and levity to an intense sector of the chart. So bringing you courage to take action to heal these areas of your life. So that's a good thing. Jupiter loves being in Pisces, and it is in its rulership by ancient astrology, but In Aries, it's expanding through having the courage, the willpower, and the passion to move ahead and charge ahead. So that is actually a good thing. On May 15th, that's a huge day. It's the day of a total lunar eclipse. Initially at 8:13 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time, Venus and Chiron, the wounded healer, meet up in the sky. And this is a good energy for facing wounds and doing healing. And that's in your house of transformation and empowerment. The sun in Taurus squares Saturn at 2:49 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. And that can feel challenging and restrictive. And yet the sun also forms a facilitating aspect to Neptune, the planet of imagination and dreams, at 3:15 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. So that is helpful for you for partnering with others to find creative solutions. And then there is a total lunar eclipse at 9:14 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time, and on May 16th at 14 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time, at 25 degrees and 18 minutes of the fixed water sign of Scorpio. And that's occurring in your house of communication, local community. You may get some very powerful news at that time. It is a total lunar eclipse, which means the nodes of fate are within 9 degrees. So it's a very fated energy. The sun, the moon, and the earth are perfectly aligned, and the earth cuts off the light from the moon and brings completely blocks off the moon and brings things to light. And again, eclipses can uncover hidden information that we had no idea about, or they can make us see things in a whole other way, that we never see them in that way again, that it just changes our perspective. And for you in your house of information, I imagine you'll be getting some big information this month, and with Mercury retrograde as well. So that's a big deal, and it's a very big day. On May 18th, Mars, the planet of action, meets up with Neptune at 2:33 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time in your house of relationships. That could be a bit confusing with your partnerships. It could be a bit draining, not the best day to partner with others. Maybe unless you're doing it in a spiritual way, going on a retreat, meditating together, manifesting together. But it's a draining energy. On May 19th, there is a really good aspect. The sun forms what's known as a trine. That's a 120-degree angle to Pluto, the planet of transformation. And that occurs at, at 5:49 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time. That's very empowering. And then, at 8:11 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time. And that's very empowering and just feeling very confident. And then Mercury, the planet of communication, forms an excellent aspect to Jupiter, the planet of expansion, at 6:23 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. And that at 6:33 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. And that is feeling positive and optimistic, good for communication with others. On the following day, on May 20th, the sun enters the mutable air sign of Gemini at 6:23 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, where it will transit until June 21st in your house of career and life goals and life direction, bringing light to that area of your chart. On May 22nd, Mars forms a very helpful aspect to Pluto at 3:15 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, or at 6:15 p.m. There's a lot of Pisces. I'm a little scattered, but I'm getting there. At 6:15 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, and that's an invigorating, that's a very empowering energy where you have the courage to do what you need to do. And then Mercury forms a helpful aspect to Mars, the planet of action and willpower. And That's at 11:27 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, and that's a good energy for getting work done and doing research. And on May 23rd, the Sun forms a helpful aspect to Jupiter, and that's a very positive, expansive energy, and that occurs at 3:54 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. And then Mercury and Mars work in tandem, and they already have it. So good energy going on. And then on May 24th, Venus, the planet of love and relationships, forms a good aspect to Saturn, the planet of structure and commitment. And this occurs at 7 o'clock a.m. Eastern Daylight Time. And that could be good for structuring things at work for you, or good communication with professional matters, and just good solid partnering. And then on May 24th, Mars changes signs and enters the Cardinal Fire sign of Aries at 7:17 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, where it will transit until July 5th in your house of healing, money, and empowerment. So that's good for really finding the courage to do the work you need to do to empower yourself and feel fearless in the process. That's a good energy for feeling empowered, which we all need to feel right now. On May 25th, Mercury forms a very positive aspect to Pluto, the planet of empowerment, at 5:49 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time, good for up-leveling your thinking. On May 27th, Venus, the planet of love and relationships, challenges Pluto, the planet of power and domination, at 2:29 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time. That's a difficult energy, and that's where you want to lay low. That could bring power struggles, conceivably could bring in breakups. On May 29th, there's a lovely energy. Mars meets up with Jupiter, the Grand Benefic, the luckiest planet, at 6:31 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time, really manifesting into hope and into healing. And then on May 30th, there is a new moon that takes place at 7:30 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time at 9 degrees and 3 minutes of the mutable air sign of Gemini in your house of career and life goals. This is a new moon for really focusing on what you want to achieve in any area of your life, career, but comprehensive of other areas as well. And set intentions, do the law of abundance, plant new seeds, do whatever it is for you. I wish you a lot of luck. It's going to be a very busy month. I'm already feeling the energy right now. We are in eclipse season as I'm taping this, and there's a lot of Pisces as I'm taping it. Jupiter and Neptune have me swimming. I'll talk to you later, and thank you.